Okay, in this video we're going to go over the history of notation. Welcome to Music 100, the primer level music composition course. It's your instructor, Cody Wyman. In this video, like I said, we're going to discuss history of notation, and that starts with the early staff notation. We're going to go over the early and modern day staff notation as it is in the Western world. We're not going to go into the Eastern world notation because that's a whole nother can of worms in itself. So we're just going to stick to Western music notation. So here we have, in the 12th to 15th centuries, Middle English people composers started developing a Western system of notation called neumes, or heighted neumes. Heighted neumes are just upper level neumes that basically said the relative pitch, not a precise pitch, and a relative rhythm that a piece would be notated as. And typically, when you first had music in the 12th to 15th centuries, before the age of printing, it was largely oral, by ear, and the people did not write it down until the neumes came into place. And there is a traditional 5-line staff used for the neumes, and that line staff is used to denote other note names. We think of the note names as going E, G, B, D, F for the lines, and F, A, C, E for the treble spaces, and A, C, E, G for the spaces in the bass clef, and the lines in the bass clef being G, B, D, F, A, but that may or may not have been the case. As we'll see later, the modern staff notation developed around middle C, and you'll see some, if you look in some early scores, you'll see the early version of the movable C clef, which I talk about in another course, was actually the letter C, and the middle line went through the middle C, the middle of the C character, and that denoted what clef it was. But for now, the neumes were placed on 5 lines from high to low, and the notation noted the relative pitch and some of the rhythm of a piece, how it should be played. There would be these little lines that would be splotched on the 5 lines of a staff, followed by these little markings that looked like slurs or looked like direction arrows or contour slurs that were used to notate direction of pitch and contour and rhythm. It was not an exact science for a while. Here is an example of the Kyrie. Now you'll see these little C's here. That's probably a C. That's probably some other pitch. It goes up and then wraps around. Then you have your other pitch here. And they basically scrolled it throughout the lines. They kind of used different symbols to scroll the rhythm and the pitches together. And it doesn't look really that organized, but you could see the beginnings of what we would call our music notation coming into view. For example, this is like a shorter note, staccato. This could be an E or a G, and a short note. This is a short note, but with an augmentation, is what it looks like. And you notice the long notes were usually characterized by long lines, and the short notes were characterized by shorter dashes. So you'll know that the rhythm was notated kind of haphazardly in the early days. But that is how the heighted neume, or the neume, started off our music notation. In other videos, I will go over how the modern staffs came to be and the modern notation came to be. If you have any questions, please feel free to consult the Q&A, and please comment because I do like interaction all the time. And I will see you in the next video where we will talk about how the modern staff and musical alphabet came to be, and more after that. So stay tuned.